Hi there and welcome to Talking Scuba, and today I'm going to be telling you about what I reckon after 9 dives of my DUI Drysuit. It's the TLS350. Now there's a story behind this Drysuit. I didn't buy it new, I bought it on eBay, and the previous owner had only done, he said, 8 dives in it, and when it arrived it looked brand new, so I was well pleased. But these things new are close to £3,000, and I'm not sure that I'd have just spent £3,000 on an untried suit. But I'd been on the lookout for a tri-laminate suit for a while. The size seemed spot on for me, and I thought, well, this has got to be worth a look at. And I'm really pleased I did. I will be comparing this suit with the neoprene suit in another video, but for today we're just going to be talking about how I'm using this suit to keep warm in the UK waters in the winter. This is my first membrane suit that I've dived in with silicone seals, silicone neck seals and silicone wrist seals, and I like them. My previous membrane suit had the old latex seals, and although I did quite a few dives, I put up with them rather than I liked them. They started off too tight and they ended up too loose and leaking a little bit. So a big tick for the silicone seals. I was excited to see that it was a front entry zip, and I got quite excited about that because I thought, aha, self-donning. But alas, for me, with my full underwear on, it wasn't, but not an issue. My buddies are all helpful, they're all keen to zip me in, so it wasn't a problem. But it certainly isn't the self-donning piece of kit that it's put out to be. Okay, if you're younger, maybe okay if you're not wearing too much underwear. But for me, fully padded up, no, I just want some help getting into it. Saying that, because the zip hasn't been used that much and I've greased it and oiled it and waxed it as best I can, I'm sure it will ease up a little, but it is a very good quality metal zip and I'm very pleased for the trade-off there. And I think, like most UK divers, I carry too much stuff with me, and when I saw that this had 2 full-size pockets, one on each leg, again, I couldn't have been more pleased. These pockets are optional extras, and when I checked up on the internet, I think they're something like £200 per pocket. But mine had 2 on it, so I was highly delighted. I always carry a slate with me, and both pockets have a little slot at the back of the pocket to allow for poking a little A5 slate in there with a pencil, and that it works well for me. The pockets themselves as well are split into 2. Either way, I'm not particularly bothered. I tend to have a DSMB, a spare DSMB in one and a lift bag in the other, so whether it's got 2 pockets in there or not, I don't really care. The next thing I like, again personal preference, is the socks. I've got some rock boots, I've had them for a while, and I quite like just having those socks at the end of the suit. It means I can certainly turn the suit inside out and clean it if I need to. But I always wonder whether, if you have inbuilt shoes built into the suit, whether if you're clambering over rocks and you puncture a hole in the base of the shoe, you're then committed to sending the whole suit back to the manufacturer to have it fixed. At least with some rock boots, you can put them on and off, and if they wear out, you can always buy a new pair. And of course, don't forget to take them with you. I pack my rock boots now in my dive suit bag with an extra pair of socks, just to make sure that I don't forget them. I know I've discussed the zip already, but this is one of the reasons why, for me, it's not quite so self-donning at the moment. It's a very, very well made zip. It's the metal type of zip, and I find it a little awkward to reach over and bring the zip over when it's fully all the way back, without sort of grabbing hold of the suit and pulling it. So I get one of my buddies just to hold the shoulder while I pull the zip down. I also like that there is a second plastic zip which runs over the top of the first one, just to protect everything. The inflator valve is exactly as you'd expect it to be. It works perfectly well, and I think just as importantly, it doesn't leak. And the same can be said for the neck seal as well. That didn't leak. I'm very pleased with it. It's nice, it's comfortable, very stretchy. I had to trim once just to get it the right size, but apart from that, it's perfect. You must not use scissors to trim a silicone seal. What you must do is slide the seal over a bottle or even a cylinder and use a very sharp, either a razor blade or a Stanley knife, and trim round just above the mark you can see on the seal, and you take it down one at a time. And I didn't realise at the time when I bought the suit, but there's a neoprene collar surrounding the silicone neck seal, and that's so you can tuck the neck of your hood in to try and stop that initial flush of cold water. And I found that that worked very, very well indeed. This DUI suit comes with its own proprietary way of attaching the seals to the suit. It's quite clever, and I quite like it. The zip seal, as it's called, is very easy to use. The seals literally pop on. It only takes a few moments, provided you have a spare seal with you. I quite like it. The disadvantage is that with the wrist seals, you have to attach your gloves first before you put your suit on. And that caused me a little bit of a problem, because walking around with a completely gloved suit on the boat, getting the kit on and off wasn't easy. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, but that's for another discussion, how to use dry gloves. The seal attachment rings, which are glued to the suit, are not metal. They're made of a soft plastic, which makes wearing the suit very comfortable. The attachment ring at the neck is also flexible. It sits flat on your collarbone and is not at all unpleasant to wear. And the seals seem to be very robust. I was expecting them to be a lot more flimsy. And now let's talk about the suit itself and the material that it's made of. It is thin. It is very light and very flexible. I would almost say that you don't know you're wearing it. A bit of a stretch, but it's quite lovely to wear. It really is. I have used some less expensive dry suits, and with this one you can tell it's a quality suit. When you're diving, it shrinks to your size. Like many suits, this has a telescope or telescopic waist, so there's plenty of room to stretch, bend and move. I like that. But that doesn't add any bulk around the middle. It didn't get in the way at all. And there's a little strap that goes from front to back, so that once you are in your suit, it keeps it down and in place. In the next few days, I'll be putting up another video talking about how I keep warm in the UK in the winter. It's now January, water temperature's now well under 10 degrees. And for February, March and April, it'll be heading down towards sort of 5 or 6 degrees, one guesses. So I'm not talking about diving in the Arctic, but nevertheless it does get cold, especially coming back on the rib. So if anyone out there is trying to extend their dive season, dive through the winter, subject to the weather, it should be okay to do a 50-minute dive. The visibility is getting slightly better, dare I say. And it's a shame to call your dive if you start to get cold after 20 minutes when you've gone to all the effort of getting down there. But if you're like me, if you're not diving, you're either thinking about it or talking about it. But in the meantime, keep diving and keep safe.